Want to bet? You can do it at Sports Interaction. It's Canada's sportsbook. Every hockey, football, and basketball game at your fingertips. And at the end of the week, World Cup, baby. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Bet pregame, live and play, or one of the many prop bets. Made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now to see all that sports betting has to offer. Go to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Got it.
That would have been a 5-1 game had Rasmus Sandin not done what he did.
Or it could have been a 5-3 game if Jordy Ben had allowed Crosby to score.
True.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, I wouldn't have seen so many dicks on Tumblr, Adam.
Now, Jesse texted us as soon as Rasmus coughed up that puck to Sidney Crosby. Now, if there's a player in the league that you don't want to cough up the puck to, it's Sidney Crosby. I'd even say more than McDavid, because here's the thing about Crosby. The guy's clutch. Gold medal, 3 Stanley Cups. The guy knows how to get it done.
Yeah.
He was the best player in the league for 10 years. He might not be anymore, but he's definitely second.
Yeah.
And he's definitely scary. And he, in clutch moments like that, he's going to score. You give that up, you know it's going in. Yeah. Jesse, you said he'd done that at least 3 times. Here's the funny thing about you. You went in and found them.
Yeah, so I was
Sandin,
like,
that is.
Sandy's done this before.
Now, what is that?
So he whiffed on the puck, and Crosby took and he scored.
Right.
So I was like, there's been at least 2 other times this season where I've seen something boneheaded from Sandin when he's trying to get the puck out of the zone. That I was like, this has happened before with Sandin. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get the 2 other times I think this has happened. Okay. And it was fairly recently. And that's why it's in my memory, because this wasn't that long ago.
There was one, it was the first minute of the game, and I don't remember who it was against.
The first one I'll bring up is Sandin versus Vegas. Last week, November 8th, Sandin versus Vegas. The puck's coming to him along the blue line. So this one was in his own zone. The Leafs were in their own zone. He's trying to keep the puck in the zone, and he whiffs. It's the exact same thing that happened last night in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him, but if you'll watch it here, I'm sorry we can't show the video, but if you'll watch it here, he's trying to keep the puck in the zone, and he literally whiffs on it just like last night. This was a week ago to the day that he did it last night. It was last Tuesday, and it led directly to a goal.
He's the other way upright. His feet are so close together.
And you know what it is, too? It's timing. That is timing. You know, like it's knowing where the puck is and where to move your hands at the right time. This guy, you know, when you're a young kid, like Jordy Ben misses most of camp, comes in, is still Jordy Ben. When you're somebody Sandin's age, and Jordy Ben, I guess, did play part of camp.
Yeah.
When you're somebody who's Sandin's age, you need camp. And if you're going to hold out for through camp, you better come back and play really well. He held out through camp and then signed for the same amount of money he would have gotten if he'd signed in July. And this is tough.
That play there is why TJ Brody is still underrated. Mm-hmm. And honestly, what Jordy Ben is doing is underrated. Just that little split-second play to tip the puck backhand to your forehand, playing as a left-handed shot on the right. The Leafs are forcing him to learn this, and he's failing, frankly. I thought his best game of the season was against the Canucks the other night, and it's because partway through the game they switched him to the left with Liljegren.
And he felt better.
Or was it the Canucks or Penguin? I can't remember, but this is not a right playing defender.
No, he's playing
in the National Hockey League. Yeah. But you want in the lineup or not?
He doesn't have the skill to play both sides. He's a one-side defenseman.
Or the confidence. I think the skill's got to be there.
Yeah, like I have a hard time saying Sandin doesn't have the skill to do anything. Like we've seen this kid do some pretty incredible things. Mm-hmm. It's really not there right now.
No, it's not.
And you know, in typical Leafs fashion, we're going to take a 5-2 victory. Did you have another one to play?
Yeah, there's 3 times.
Okay,
so I'm going to pull up the other one. So the other one was versus a team we should know. The Pittsburgh Penguins. It happened during the Friday game. He's supposed to go across, and he whiffs on it. He whiffs on it.
And that time, he's not trying to hold the puck in. He actually what you see is he carries it across the blue line, and what he does is he stops. Now he's on his offside. He's a left-handed shot guy on the right, but he's got the puck and he's trying to cross it in the offensive zone. And I mean, here's the thing with him. It seems like right now, and this is what you see with non-confident players, like players that just do not have it, when somebody bears down on them, like really confident players, if somebody bears down on you, you make a smart, quick decision. You either deke the pants off them or you move it on to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Guys that are not confident, if you just have a player skate directly at them, they'll fuck it up for you. And here's another couple guys I'm seeing it with. And again, we're poking at the holes here first, and then we'll get into the fact that it was actually a victory. And there's some great stories here.
Yes, absolutely.
But two other guys that I see just in that position are Justin Hall and Alex Kerfoot. You know that the frustrating thing about Justin Hall is we know he's better. We know he's better.
See, I feel like he's actually figuring it out.
Fair enough. But to this point, nobody, including Justin Hall, would say, great year so far. And there have been things like, what was the Martyr thing? The what the fuck Halsey or something like that might have been.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's it, right?
That was funny.
Which is funny, but like it's just sort of when you're in that moment, you have to be so confident because you have a split second to make a decision. You have to be so confident that you just got to know that whatever your next move is the right one. And sometimes you'll lose that. The other one, and I want to bring this up, is one that blew everybody's minds last night. Alex Kerfoot and John Tavares on a 2-on-1 and or 2-on-2, and the Pittsburgh defenseman falls. Kerfoot's got a clean look at the net.
Why does the Pittsburgh defender fall?
Tell me.
Because Kerfoot made a fantastic move.
That's right. And he broke his ankles. And then he's like, you know what? John Tavares is over by the boards on a terrible angle. Why don't I pass it to him? And I know Kerfoot drives Leaf fans nuts. I do think there's use for him. I think there's been playoff series where he's been spectacular in his role.
Kerfoot, Tavares was in the middle of cutting to the net to get the rebound.
Right. And then
and had to be like, what
am I going to do with this? And that to me is a guy who just it's just squeezing it too much, right? Just squeezing the stick.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that, podcasts like ours are on these guys so much. But the reality is there's somebody who has Kerfoot's got wheels. He can handle the puck, doesn't have much of a shot, but he does score 15 goals a year. He can bury that.
He passed this puck. I can't believe it. This is before he passed it.
And then the pass he sends to Tavares isn't even good.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh, God.
That's a shame. And look at DeSmith. Look at this. He has no idea.
No.
That's you got him right where he wants him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And DeSmith's having a bad night, too.
He wasn't. I mean, no one. I don't think anyone.
Well, but what I mean is Kerfoot, if he'd just taken the shot, you never know, right?
It could go in.
You have a goalie that's you think Kerfoot's not confident? Look at the entire Pittsburgh Penguins roster at the moment. And so those are the holes you can poke in it. The reality is the Leafs won. Yay, that's great. And I think love Jordy Ben. But I also wanted to say this. I thought it was such a shame that Matt Murray didn't get to start that Saturday against the Pens, right? He got the adductor injury in warm-up.
Friday.
It was a Friday night. Okay.
Yeah.
A warm-up, he randomly tweaked himself in a warm-up, couldn't play, out for a month, but he does get the next start.
I see where we got crossed up. They played Friday against the Penguins this week.
Yeah.
He originally got hurt before
against
Saturday
the Senators.
Against the Sens.
That's what I meant to say. Did I not say that?
I think you said Pens.
I meant Sens. Sorry,
Pens,
my bad.
Sens.
Yeah. He was originally, he'd played his first game, and then he was going to play against the Sens on Hockey Night in Canada. Didn't get to do that. But he comes back against his other former team, which I love.
That was the first time, right?
Since Washington. He played Washington. Montreal?
No, first time he's ever played the Pen.
I don't know.
I don't know if he ever played them with the Senators.
It wouldn't shock me because he was so injured.
He only played 10 games with the Senators. I think it might have been his first appearance back because I remember they mentioned they did a tribute at some intermission to him. They played some video, and so I was like, "Is this his first time back?" Yeah. But yeah,
and it was cool to see Pens fans there with his jersey. Mm-hmm. I saw one young kid who had his Leafs jersey too, which I thought was really neat.
That's cool.
Honestly, you look at that situation and. I think Matt Murray played well. There were some good stops there.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
There were a lot that trickled behind him and just didn't go in. So, things that can be improved on. But I really liked, if I can be an old hockey man about this, I really liked his battle. I thought he had a lot of battle.
Battle's real, man.
Battle is real. And there was if I had one criticism, I thought his movements were too big. There were too many instances where he was not in the blue paint at all. But that's natural. That's going to happen. He had a couple really big glove saves. He had a couple where he came across, and yeah, it's nice to get a little help from your D. About time, So
Good segue for a Manscaped ad.
Hey,
Get a little help from your D.
There you go.
I think.
I thought you were actually doing it.
No. I think it's. He needs a game like that to get things rolling. It got to feel good against Pittsburgh, in their building, and the Leafs played a pretty good, solid system.
Yeah, and a little reprieve this week too. They have a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday week. Jeez, they deserve it. After man, their first month and a half schedule is bullshit.
It's crazy.
It hasn't been good. So, and you know what I love? So, I am of two minds. They're top 10 in the league right now, the Leafs, in points.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're also, I think, one game above 500.
Yeah.
One or two.
Yeah, if you like parity, it's sort of annoying. Like
OT losses gotta go.
Yeah, they
something.
They do gotta go.
No.
They're 9-5-3, so they're 9-8.
Yeah, they're one game above 500.
Yeah.
And where are they in the league, Jesse?
And they're only 7 points behind Boston.
League standings, they are 6th.
They are 6th place in the National Hockey League, and they have one more win than loss. Boo.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, but also boo.
Yeah, you should be 9-8.
Yeah.
Based on wins and losses. But that's whatever.
And this is the thing, is it sort of fools hockey fans a little bit, because we're like, wow, we got three OTLs. They count, and they do count.
Yeah. Kings are one spot behind them. They're only two up on 500.
If we could compare and contrast, the Leafs are in 6th. The Islanders are in 4th. They're 11-6. Clean. No OTLs.
No.
Vegas, 13-4. New Jersey, 13-3. Boston, 14-2. None of them have OTLs. There's a clear difference between that and the next four, right? The top teams, Boston, New Jersey, Vegas, Islanders, through the first 16, 17 games of the year, clearly ahead, far and ahead of everybody else.
Stars are only two games above 500. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if necessarily you should do away with the overtime point, but it shows how superficial.
Detroit's in 15th, and they are 7-11.
They're 7-5-4.
They're 4 games below 500, above middle of the pack. Above the halfway point of the league.
Yes.
The Ducks.
And the reason that is because there's so many teams running away with it.
Ducks won last night, but someone had a stat. They haven't won in regulation yet.
The Ducks?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess they beat the Leafs in overtime.
All their wins are overtime. Yeah.
Oh.
They won in overtime last night against Detroit. They beat the Leafs in overtime.
Wow. It's a shame that doesn't count.
It's just a shame.